Yeah, welcome back. Things have been slow the last week or two. I've had plenty of time in here to be at the van, but it's just everything is just little bits and pieces of jobs that seem to be taking me an age. But yeah, here's what I've got done in the last while. Back at it today. Just made up this little bracket to hold the accelerometer or whatever that thing's called. Just a little stainless mount and bolted it straight into the alternator mount. I've hooked up the cable with a little part of a bottle screw, just a rigging bottle screw I happen to have around, threaded in there. I'm going to drill through here and here with a small bit and put a little cotter pin in it. Just put a little cut in that there to get the cable in, but that's now working fine. So that should do that. Still need to, this thing still hasn't turned up to put the adapter to go to here. So I'm looking into that next, and I need to hook up the intake side of the turbo pipework. After that, then I'll be we might be able to put coolant in it, stick a battery in it, fire it up. Alright, the whole day's been spent doing little bits and pieces. I attached the throttle cable, just soldered all the joins and shrink wrapped them. I'll get some other black stuff to put over them after, and I'll probably end up, I don't know, will I end up wrapping this up in Denso tape or something, the throttle linkage, because that's designed to be inside the car, not really in the engine bay where it can get wet and things. What else did I do there? Oh, I just plugged in the mass airflow meter down there, and I had to extend the wire to the wastegate solenoid, and I'm just doing a few bits like that. I needed a reducer for the heater pipe off the head, and the one thing I'm really stuck for at the moment is I need to plumb. I have a piece ordered, and it should have been here a long time ago, and it's holding me up. Is I want to put in a section here that tees off to the bottom of this header bottle, and that's all I'll need. That's all that's outstanding now to fill the system with coolant, because everything else, that's all plumbed in, and yeah, everything else, as long as that piece of heater pipe is right now, that's all I need. Okay, next day again now, and that pipe piece still hasn't arrived, so I had another go at making one. That's very thin wall stainless steel, so it's kind of hard to weld. I did get a waterproof weld on that, with a bit of effort, but I just stuck a bit of liquid metal over it as well, just to just in case it's very thin anywhere or anything. I might swap it out for the other one when it comes anyway, but at least this will get me going. Now, I must say, I'm pretty damn pleased to have that pipework coming together. Got that little section fitted in there and plumbed up to the header bottle. Radiator pipe's all plumbed up. Everything's ready there now to fill it with coolant. So that's what I'm going to do now, get it full of coolant. Right, so I'm trying to whittle my way through the last few jobs here. This is the Wastegate Actuator for the turbo, which I can't mount where it used to be. So I had to make a complete bracket for it. It's also the wrong actuator. I'm hoping it'll work. It's got two inlets on it, but I think I can just use one of them. So I'll give it a go and see if it works. That's ready to mount now. I'm just going to give it a coat of paint. Next up then is I have a pile of steel because I need to make a door. I've got the engine starting and running, but I can't run it for any length of time without giving myself carbon monoxide poisoning in here. So yeah, I'll get this in, and then I might go away working on the door for the day. Major changes going on here. The door is for the wall as such is down. So I'm building a door. The idea here is I want to be able to drive the van out, let the engine warm up and do a few things like that, get the coolant all sorted and everything. It'll be kept in, but like that I have other vans and stuff to work on, so I need to be able to make this somewhere that I can get them in and out. So gotta hang this door, make some concrete ramps for going out there, and probably will pull the van out if it's dry. I'll pull the van out tomorrow and have a look. Right, well, that was fun, and it's blowing an absolute gale today. Trying to put those sheets up on that door. For now we'll do with a gravel ramp, but gonna do a few more little jobs underneath. I need to put that actuator on, sort out a few vacuum lines, and can't remember what else. I'll do those few bits and pieces before I drive it down off the blocks. It won't be staying out. I'll be bringing it back in a bit later again. But yeah, I'll probably end up putting it back up on blocks again because I want to do a skid plate and stuff anyway. So yeah, I'll get on with a few other bits, and a bit later on I'm going to pull it outside and take a look. Maybe even give it a rinse because it's fairly covered in grime from being in here. Right, it's that actuator painted up and stuff, so I'm going to stick that back on and get the vacuum pipes to the controller for that on as well. And yeah. Alright, I have a lot of figuring out to do still with vacuum pipes and stuff like that, but I just want to take it outside at this stage. So, I'm going to do that. Okay, take two. We there was a few issues trying to drive it out the last day. I couldn't. It was pulling away in high gear again, and I realised after I did manage to take it out the door, realised that I wasn't getting it over as far as first and second gear. So I adjusted that now. I've been messing with the actuator on the turbo as well. Turns out the old one was a push actuator, so I've had to alter the arm on the, so it works off boost instead of vacuum. Now the actuator I have has an allowance for a boost side or a vacuum side, so I'm able to plumb it the other way, but I had to extend the wastegate arm across so that it will work by pulling instead of pushing. Otherwise I would have had to make a new bracket, move the actuator to the other side of the turbo. So I've been messing with that stuff. I'm going to go ahead now. I wanted to do it yesterday, but it was pouring rain and I didn't want to take it out in the pouring rain just yet. So I'm going to drive it out the door now and possibly turn it around and drive it in the other way, so at very least when I'm running it, it's not filling the whole shed with smoke. Yeah, and poisoning me. So yeah, we'll do that now. Oh, there she is outside in the sunlight at last. Gave it a quick rinse. I know, say I don't want to go out in the rain and then take it out and wash it, but the reason I don't want to is the sealant along the gutter needs doing, and I don't want to get rain in there before I seal between the edge and that black strip. So just been ticking over there for a while now. I've let out the radiator and the heaters are nice and hot in there. I don't have a temperature gauge yet, so I won't leave it too long, but I'm hoping the normal original fan will kick in there in a little while. I have an exhaust silencer on the way, nice stainless steel with that box, so I'll quieten it down a bit. Right, so I've been driving it back and forward the road, and it's driving it fairly good. A lot of us scrubbing out the back wheels at the moment, the back drums, so I'll look at that more. Gear change is okay, it's a little bit used to it. It's got good power in first and second. I haven't really got enough room to give it a go in third properly, but yeah, now I'm just kind of scratching my head on what I need to do next. I suppose I should kind of carry on with wiring on the engine loom, try and get some gauges and stuff working, but yeah, we'll see. It stays pretty nice and cool. You know, the engine's really not that hot considering how long it was running. The top radiator hose is hot, bottom ones are cool. But I do need to sort this mess here out, and I also need to make a housing for that ECU and lash a patch in as well before I do much more, and then maybe clean out and get this interior reassembled. Anyway, carry on. Okay, so I've spent the entire day today messing about with wiring, trying to get what I could of the gauge cluster working from the original temperature gauge and stuff, but I think so far that these only have one oil pressure sender, where the old ones had two, and also the temperature sensors on this, I don't know, there's just three sensors coming off the thermostat housing that all go to earth, so I'm going to have to rethink that. I've just kind of bundled wiring up a little bit. The one thing I did manage to get to, well, I did figure out which of these actually at least goes up to the gauges and makes them do something, whether the engine can tell them what to do or not. But I did get the battery light to go out, which is good. It was charging anyway, but I just didn't have a battery light. Now we have. So yeah, stick the cover back on that for this evening, and I think I'm going to let the wiring be for a little while. I'm hoping the exhaust will come maybe tomorrow, although unlikely, because I'd like to get that done. And yeah, what else do I want to do? I want to get the interior cleaned out and start getting on with some of that stuff, because there's nothing stopping me now, and it'd be nice to move that side of it a little bit in the right direction. These side panels and stuff, I still don't have them on. I want to repaint them again until this van and that van there are both gone back out of the shed. I won't be painting anything in here. So yeah, the driver's seat as well. I want to make those little, I must see can I get them, but I probably have to make them, those little bushings for the pivot plate, because I don't want to bolt it down because it'll rock around the place. So better remove some old van from these side skirt pieces. That's a good sign, isn't it? Okay, so main job today was been just getting the bumpers fitted. Now, I'm not going to paint them. I will patch up this corner, but I'll clean them up. I'll go through what I'm doing with that in a while, but you can kind of see the difference. This side's been cleaned up already, so we'll do that in a while. I'm just trying to get them all fitted. The front bumper's fitted, those pieces are fitted. I've cleaned off the lower part there that has to be done. Mud flaps have to go on, whether you like mud flaps or not. They're definitely needed here. Back bumper, this was already lying on the ground when we got the van, so the rear brackets here were gone. I've just made these, put them on, and the bolts for these brackets here were all rotted out, so I tried getting the bolts out of them. Obviously it just busted out, so I've just made a new bracket for each side. Just bolted it through with a cup-headed bolt. I don't mind that, that's okay. I'll just paint the bolt head black, and gonna just bore through that bottom of that rear quarter and bolt it through there with a bit of rubber or something in between, just to protect the paint. So yeah, I'm just working on that now. I'd like to get that stuck on there today if I can. Yeah, finally got that bumper bolted on. There's been about 100 million distractions. So it's almost taken me 2 days. So as you can see, it's a bit of a state. But what I'm going to do now, there was a lot of old tricks like using a heat gun on them and stuff to restore them, or yeah, all these back to black and things like that. But what works really well is give them a one wipe, not with a painted bumper now, but with a black plastic bumper, is one wipe with cellulose thinners. Don't rub it because it'll just melt the surface, but it's one wipe will give it a nice I'll just instantly turn it black like that. Of course I wipe it, but that one's a bit dry. I need to wet the rag more, and then after I'll show you what I'm doing with it then. Okay, so on the bumpers the thinners work lovely, but on this splitter it's not doing as much, so I'm just going over a little bit of heat. Okay, to finish those off, I actually just give them a little rub of boiled linseed oil. It's it actually dries, so it's you know, it doesn't get horrible and sticky like other kind of oils do. But I wipe most of it off, just rub a bit on, wipe the rest off, and it'll give it a nice clean look for longer than most things will anyway. But they haven't been painted or anything. I did spray a little bit of paint just on that scrape on the corner, just put a bit of that underbody stone chip on it. But yeah, they look good. The back one, I've just done a little bit. I haven't actually put any oil on that yet. I just cleaned it up, and again, I gave it kind of just a dusting of the stone guard along, because there was a few little scrapes from where it's been lying around the place, and just painted over the bolts on there as well as the tow bar. So that is that for now. I've just given the mud flaps a rinse, and I'm hoping to put those on this evening. My exhaust silencer arrived. Nice stainless steel back box. Not a T25 one, just a spurious stainless steel box that I'm going to weld on my bends to. So I'll get around to that in the next video. Right, so that's absolutely it for this video. It's gone on long enough, so I want to get this one up. This is probably the second last build video on this van, really. The next one, I'm going to try and get the interior sorted out a little. We plan on actually using the van in the next, I think, about 3 weeks' time. We're going to be using this van. So in the next little while, I just want to get it insured, get all the particulars changed over, color change, engine numbers, all that stuff. Yeah, I'll get the exhaust and stuff done in the next one, and I'm going to take it out and drive it around some more. The interior now needs to come together a little bit. I'm not doing anything special. I'm putting back what was there for now, what's usable. At a later date, I might get into doing things like solar and getting all the leisure side of it hooked back up properly and everything. I think we're going to install a diesel heater instead of the gas one. A few things like that, but I'll go through a bit of that stuff in the next one, and hopefully by the end of that we'll have kind of a complete van to have a look at. So it'll be time then to move on with other things. I've got a few other videos coming up of various other things I've got going on. So yeah, we'll leave it at that. Thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. There are the other videos, they're not all based on T25s, but we'll see what you like and what you don't. So thank you very much, and I will see you next time. Cheers.